This is the plaintiff, Tony Trippy. He says his former landlord's playing games with him. He's skirting the law, and he's here to teach the scammer a lesson. That's right, the louse owes him money for a security deposit. He has a history of stealing former tenants' money, and he's here in the good name of the law suing him for the $5,000 he's owed. This is the defendant, Nick Biba. He says the plaintiff was a nightmare tenant whose 100-pound service dog bit a little girl. He almost burned the place down when the stove caught on fire, and he was even arrested once. He wishes the plaintiff good luck today in court with the judge, but knows he'll be the one walking out of here the victor. He's accused of causing a tenant tantrum. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,165.94 for additional damages.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Thank you. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Tony Trippy, you are suing Nick Biba, your former landlord, for the return of your $1,500 security deposit, as well as interest, as well as pain and suffering, because according to you, he inappropriately kept your money. And Mr. Biba, you're counterclaiming an additional $1,165 beyond the security deposit in money that you say you are out in damages. Let me hear from you first.
Okay, I'm not going to be exactly on dates because it's not me, but about 2.5 years ago, I moved into the apartment, and when I moved in, I didn't tell him I had a service dog, which I don't have.
You did or you didn't?
I didn't. He found out through the tenants, and he questioned me on it. And
why didn't you tell him you had a service dog?
It's not important that I do it by law. I don't have to tell anybody that I'm...
No, you're allowed to have the dog, but where do you get that you don't have to tell anybody that you have a 100-pound Rottweiler?
As soon as you tell somebody and they see a dog like that, they can refuse you and give you different...
They can't refuse you. That's exactly the point of the law, is that they can't refuse you a true service dog. But go ahead. Anyway, so you move in, he finds out about the dog, he gets upset, but he can't do anything.
So he met the dog. He was fine with the dog. In the course of living there, I noticed that on the flooring, it was an inexpensive press board type, cardboard type, imitation hardwood floor. And it was starting to come up in little spots, you know. And make a long story short, when I left, I knew that
Did you ever alert him to that,
Yes,
that it was
I did.
coming up? Do you have that in writing anywhere?
No, we just communicated always on the phone and texts and so on. He had sent me a list of things he wanted done.
Why were you leaving?
To move to Puerto Rico.
Okay. And when you were leaving, what kind of notice did you give him?
The proper legal notice through HUD with my counselor from the VA and so on.
Okay, so was part of your rent being paid by HUD?
Yes.
So he tells you, I want this fixed, and you fix a bunch of things. All right, then you leave, and were you under the impression you were going to get your security deposit back?
Yeah, because he came out that Saturday, and he walked through everything, and he said, well, geez, today's Saturday, I didn't bring anything with me, so I said, well, I'll be here until Wednesday when I leave. So, and if I don't have the money, then we'll pursue this in court.
Why would you say that? He has 30 days to return your money.
Because I know the way I know the way certain landlords are.
Okay.
Okay.
So then 30 days pass, do you get a letter from him?
Prior to leaving, about 2 months prior to moving, I requested a special inspection from HUD. Okay.
Prior to moving?
Prior to moving, because I could foresee all this. I'm not a mind reader, but there's certain things you can just read the writing on the wall.
Were you supposed to leave on April 30th?
No.
There was an agreement that you would leave in the middle of a month?
Yeah, it was up legal. When you give more than 30 days notice, you and the landlord agree on to the date. He agreed.
He agreed for you to leave May 7th. That's my question to you.
Yes.
In the middle of the month?
Yes.
Did you agree for him to leave in the middle of a month? Right. Okay, so now, you said you had a HUD inspection. Do you have the report that
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. And then do you have pictures of how you left the place?
Well, I have pictures of the damage. He inspected it that Saturday and was pleased with everything according to what he told me that day, but it was Saturday and he didn't bring his money with him as the banks are closed, blah, blah, blah. And as far as that, hold
on. What am I looking at? All I see are gray, shades of gray.
The top picture you're looking at is the actual stove liner.
What happened? Was there a fire?
Pretty much. It deteriorated. It's cheap. They're little dollar things you put in there.
Was there a fire, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, how did the fire happen?
Poor maintenance of the stove. Nothing was cleaned underneath there or anything.
Well, you're the guy who's supposed to maintain the stove and
No,
clean it. I don't know what you
It's falling
mean.
down. The stuff is rotting and
This is
falling
the
down.
burner, correct?
Right.
I have pictures of the stove, actually.
Yeah, let me see actual pictures will be better. And then what's this a picture of on the bottom?
That is the actual heater. And what you'll notice when you read the inspection is where it talks about the dampness and the moisture in the building, and that just showed rust on it just from sitting on the floor.
According to you, during the tenancy, one of the neighbor's kids was bitten by the Rottweiler?
Yes.
How do you know that?
The tenant called me to complain about it, to see what I can do with it. He said he needs to take care of his dog. And I called Mr. Trippy and asked him, said, you need to control your dog.
Okay, did that happen?
I don't believe so, and I was there, and I'll tell you why. Because she had no marks to show anything, for one.
Well, did you see your dog lunge?
What?
Did you, I don't know how to
Yeah, he
make
plays, he jumps, he's a dog.
Yeah, but you're supposed to have your dog under
He
control.
was on a leash.
Right.
She kept walking
On a
back and
leash?
forth right in front of us.
Okay,
Okay,
but
and she wasn't a little girl, she weighed 220 pounds.
First of all, take it down a notch. Okay, but
Well, I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. I'm
well,
sorry.
that's unfortunate for you if you don't
It
like
sure
the questions
is.
I'm
It
asking
sure
you.
is. No, the
okay?
questions are fine.
But you
It's
still have to
presentation.
show respect for
Then
the
show me it, please.
judiciary. I'm showing you complete
Okay,
respect.
well,
You
I'm a
just
disabled
don't
vet
like
with
the
PTSD, and I
content
don't like the way you're
of my
approaching me with this.
questions. Your dog has to not only be on a leash, but be on a short enough leash for you to be able to pull your dog back. If it's truly a service dog, it should be listening to you. Does your dog have a muzzle right now?
No, it's a soft leader.
Okay. So what ended up happening? Did that neighbor call animal control?
Well, that's what I told him to do, call animal control
Did
right
the neighbor
away.
call animal control?
I'm not sure if he did or not.
Did animal control ever contact you?
Yes, ma'am.
They did, so they did call animal control. And what happened with that?
They came out and just took a report.
Did they fine you?
No,
Did you have to go to court?
no.
Okay. When do you get his letter telling you he's going to keep your security deposit?
I never got that letter. So,
Well, in your complaint, you say you got it after 30 days.
well, I never got it after 30 days because
No, I'm sorry. Let me read from your complaint. I received the letter after 30 days.
maybe I did. But it was past
You don't
the
know
thir-
if you received a letter? That's
No,
not the
I
subject
don't.
of the
I keep trying to
lawsuit.
explain to you I'm a disabled vet and I have some issues, okay? With my
Okay.
PTSD and so on, and short-term memory loss.
Okay, so did you postmark the letter? Do you have
I got
did you send it
return
certified
receipts.
receipt? In
Certified.
fact, you sent it on what day according to the certified return
I
receipt?
believe it was on the 12th or somewhere
May.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah. And what day did he sign for it?
It says 6/29 on here,
So he just didn't pick it up?
I guess.
Okay, so now I want to see from you receipts for the replacement of things that you are saying needed replaced. I see the pictures that you say show the damage to the floors from the dog's nails and other places. This is the floor in another unit that's 10 years old.
Correct.
What kind of tenant was he during the time that he was there?
Well, it was a trouble from the beginning.
Because
Well,
what?
when he first came to look at the apartment, he was supposed to be a homeless vet that was, disabled. So he drives up in this real fancy Mustang's all decked out. And I was like, that's a little strange. So I show him the apartment and he says, I believe he had the dog with him. And I was like, I can't rent this apartment to you. My ad specifically stated that I don't rent
Okay,
to
but you know that you have to allow them to rent if they have any
kind of
proof,
documents,
and you
right.
can now
I never
basically just
got
get that
any
on the
kind of
internet.
documents.
I mean, that's just the way it is right
I
now.
understand that. The first thing out of his mouth was, well, I'm going to sue you then. I'm going to sue you. If you don't rent it to me, I'm going to sue you. That's exactly the first thing he said out of his mouth. And I was like,
Yeah, and he has that right,
and I was
actually.
like, okay, that's fine. I said, I explained to him that he needs to be, that if the dog does any damage, he's going to be responsible for it.
Okay, I'm looking at the floors, and the floors are damaged. I'm looking at them, and to say, well, they were cheap is not really an answer. The floors are damaged with little pock marks, which look to be of nails of a dog. I have dogs.
I think the inspection speaks for itself.
No, it doesn't. The pictures speak for themselves. Now, I'll look at the inspection, but when I'm looking at the floor, the inspector has no way of knowing whether that was there before or wasn't there before. Where's
You
the
can see the
inspection
seams
report?
where they meet, that's where it's coming up.
Okay, I need the one with nothing crossed out.
HUD wouldn't do that.
Who is this from? I don't know who this from. This could be from your
You can
friend.
call them, I'll give you the number, it's HUD.
No, what I want is an actual HUD report as opposed to what this is. This is something from someone named Cheryl.
She no longer worked for HUD, so they had to contact her, so they had to go through HR or whatever. They don't just give phone numbers out.
Yeah, but you could have your best friend write this. This isn't an inspection report from HUD.
A simple phone call to HUD would clarify all this.
There's no such thing as a simple phone call to HUD. You know that. I know that. He knows that. That's not my job.
Well, you
That's
can't
not
check
how
on
it
something
works.
like that. That's against the law for you to go out and spend 5 minutes to check on something.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Me go check on something you're supposed to bring to court to
especially if you're
prove
going by
up?
law, you want to do the right thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I do want to do the right thing. So here's what I'm going to do. Do you have evidence of replacing the floor?
I actually brought flooring with me to prove to you.
From
This is the flooring that
Wait,
came
hold
out.
on. This is from the apartment?
This is from the
Let me
apartment,
see
yeah.
that. Okay, let's see it
And I have pictures of the apartment after it was done.
Okay, yep. And when you say it was done, are you the one who did it? Is that why
Well,
you
I
don't?
had the tile work done by somebody else, and
Do you have a receipt for that? I'm
no, I
asking.
don't. The guy was supposed to email me one, he never did.
Notice the seams
And there's a picture also of the new
No,
stove.
there's nothing wrong with these seams. What I see are the
on the
holes in
photos.
it from the
If you
dog.
look at the seams in the photos, you'll see
Yeah, I
what
did,
I'm talking
but
about.
right
the
now I'm
moisture.
not looking at
Right,
that. I'm
right.
looking at this where what I notice are the cuts on the floor from nails. You know? Tell me what you have by way of
The
receipts.
flooring I had in my warehouse.
Here's what I don't want, words. I want receipts for things, so hand me receipts for things.
I don't have it. Well, the guy was supposed to email me the receipt
but
for
what
the
about
tile. I
the-
don't have that. No, I have the itemized report there, actually.
Your report is the same as your words in my courtroom. That is not evidence. So court is in recess, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to try to get those receipts that you're talking about.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Can a dog's nails, well, I'll ask you, your dog, you have a dog, could your dog's nails put holes in a hardwood floor? What do you think?
No,
Why? I mean, they're sharp.
because they're not really that sharp, but
They're pretty sharp. They're actually pretty sharp. This dog is going to kill me.
What was the question?
Oh, the question was, could this dog's nails, touch the nails, touch them real quick, could they put holes in a hardwood floor?
No way.
Really?
No way it could.
Okay. I'm a minority of one here, going inside the courtroom.
Okay. So I took a recess to see if you would be able to get any receipts or third-party proof of the damages. Were you able to get any?
I couldn't get a hold of the guy.
And
on
we
the
also invited you to go ahead and call HUD with a staff member of mine and actually verified that this is a woman who worked for HUD and who wanted to add that to the file. HUD didn't add it to the file, but it's an email from somebody who used to work for HUD to somebody who does work for HUD telling them to add it to the file. And they didn't, and probably because she was proclaiming what the damage to the floor was from, and it was kind of not HUD's business to do, but certainly that's what she was saying. It is cheap laminate floor that's on there. I'm looking at the pictures, and I do see, in the seams certain problems, but I also see divots that are the classic evidence of damage from nails of a dog. Now, it would be oh so peachy keen if you actually came to court with proof of the things that you want to declare as owed to you, because you are not only trying to keep his $1,500, you are also suing for an additional $1,100. So you're going to get stuck with whatever I deem appropriate. Okay? So what have we got? I'm going to allow $350 for the stove, which clearly was a result of fire. Regarding the laminate floor, that's not quite as clear to me. And you're asking for a whole lot of money for that with a whole very little a part of proof. You don't have a receipt. You don't have an estimate. I'm going to allow you to keep the original $1,500 on the plaintiff's lawsuit against you. I find in your favor. As far as your counterclaim against him, I find that because you don't have the additional proof that I would require for that kind of an amount, I find in his favor on that. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Hold on, please.
Well, here comes the plaintiff, Mr. Trippi. Sorry, obviously you can't be too happy about the outcome.
I'm okay with that.
Really?
That. Yeah, sure. Whatever the law says it is, it is.
Okay. Let me ask you a quick question. You never explained what the service dog, what's his name?
Max,
What's he do? How does he help you?
he performs several tasks for me.
That's what I mean.
And that's
Specifically.
Well,
Can you?
specifically, he'll carry my meds for me. If I'm down on the ground or on the beach or something, he'll allow himself to stand still and support me to get me up. So he does several.
Is he a good boy?
Excellent.
Good luck with him. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, here comes Mr. Bieber. He is the defendant, and you're going to keep the security. So you okay with that?
Yes.
You didn't get the rest because you didn't have receipts. You know?
I-
You need receipts. You need evidence.
I need receipts.
Yeah,
You're correct.
You watch the People's Court at all?
No.
No? Well, that's your problem.
I'm working usually during the day. That's a problem.
Take time off, watch People's Court, and
I'll
you
do
win the
that.
next time.
Okay, sounds good.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Harvey?
Doug, the judge did what they call rough justice, which you can do in small claims court. They'd lose in a bigger court because there you have to prove damages to the dollar, but the judge is allowed to do justice here.